And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Animation Edition, episode 8 of season 8. And we have with us someone, a very familiar face to the game show, a wonderful friend of mine, Disner, the other apprentice himself, Mr. Zora Catone. How are you, sir?
Hello, I'm very happy to be here. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm very happy to have you too. And for people who haven't seen any of my episodes, shame on you. Care to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Zora Catone, also known as the Other Apprentice. As our lovely host already said, I am a Disney fan to the nth degree. And these days, I am trying my best to make a little magic with every way that I know how, whether it's through theater or through stop motion animation, and just trying to share my hobbies and hope that you like what you see.
Nice. And yeah, I definitely recommend his work. And Zora, this is I was looking at the stats. This is your 7th appearance on the show. So you've broken the record. For the
Wow.
contestant who appeared the most time. So thank you for keep coming back for 7
Oh,
times.
thank you for asking me to keep coming back. This is fun.
For anyone else who's new to this is a 12-question multiple choice game show about anything even remotely in the field of animation. As long as Zora keeps getting questions right, he goes higher up the ladder. Once he gets one wrong, that's the end of the game. He leaves with the last number of points from last save haven. He has 3 lifelines to help him, 50-50. He gets rid of 2 wrong answers. A phone or friend if he chooses. He can call someone for help or ask the expert. This season, our expert is the Disney Insider founder, Mr. Skylar Schuler, who won the game show last season. So I've asked him all the questions for this season, and Zora can see how he answered, decide if he wants to go with that or not. And if he gets to 32,000 points, Zora will get a new lifeline, a double dip, which gives him 2 chances at answering the question instead of 1. So usually how this works is if no one gets to the million, we will have a round 2 for the top 5 returning, top 5 contestants who made it the highest. But we've already had a millionaire this season, so there is no round 2. So basically, Zora, we're trying to aim for the top million. And after that lengthy introduction, are you ready to play Millionaire?
I am ready. I don't know if I'm going to be doing very well, as I'm very tired. My brain is not functioning right now. But yes, let's give her a whirl.
We appreciate the you coming on though. But let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Just a second. And oh, there we go.
All right. And once this button works, I should be in full mode. There we go. And remember the yellow ones are your benchmarks. Once you get to those, you can't lose them no matter what. And everyone else is Skylar Schiller. Check out his website, thedisinsider.com, for the latest in Disney scoops, news, and overall information. Zora, let's start. 500 points.
All right.
What is the name of the villain in the animated 1994 Disney canon film, The Lion King? Is it bruise, wound, cut, or scar?
Answer is D, scar. Final answer.
And nothing is final, so you say final answer, so take your time, but you know your answer is correct.
Yeah.
You got to start off with one that's incredibly easy.
I think, not that I want to tell you how to run your own show, but I think a very good question would be, what was Scar's original name before he got the moniker Scar?
I think that would have been a 500-point question, but yes, because I don't think I know that answer. What was his original name?
So now this is coming from what has now been deemed a non-canon book, but originally Scar's name was Taka.
Okay.
Yeah, and he earned that scar in another wildebeest incident. And the terrible thing is that the name Taka means something akin to garbage in Swahili. So even from birth, he was not the favorite son.
Scar is like an upgrade from Taka then.
Yeah, it was like, call me that so I can like remember my worst mistake. But yeah, doesn't quite ever learn his lesson now, does he?
No, I guess not. But they made that live action photorealistic CGI remake a couple of years ago, and now they're making a sequel to that, I guess based on Mufasa's early life.
Yeah.
What are your opinion? What's your opinions on that? Do you think that's a good idea or not?
It sounds interesting. I think I would have preferred to have seen that story if they were going with the original version. Because we've seen a few variations of that through, like I mentioned before, the non-canon books. I don't know, because like I have a, I don't mind the 2019 version. Do I think they could have gone a little bit further in certain areas? Absolutely. But it delivered what I expected what it would. So I find it interesting that they were so quick to do a follow-up project,
Yeah,
and prequel no less. So that's going to be very interesting. Um, I'm not excited for it, but I'm not going to diss it and say that
yeah.
we don't need it. Well, I don't know if we do, but I'll still watch it. I'm intrigued, but so long as people realize that that story belongs to that continuity and not the 1994 one, then we won't have too much of a problem on my side.
That's true. That's a very mature way of looking at it. And I guess we'll just have to wait till the movie comes out. All right, sorry, doing well. The next one's 1,000 points. I have to remind you, if you get that wrong, you leave with nothing. I don't think that's going to happen. So just have to remind you.
All right.
Points. Which title character of an animated Disney canon film does not speak? Was it Hercules, Pinocchio, Dumbo, or Bolt?
The answer is C, Dumbo. Final answer.
And your answer is correct. Congratulations. You have 1,000 points no matter what you do today. And this is another one that I was going to point out. This is another one that has a live action Disney remake, but I feel now the way they're going, it's more rare to find a Disney movie that hasn't had a live action Disney remake by now. Like, until we get the live action, the Great Mouse Detective, then we know they've gone to the end. Are you a Dumbo fan overall?
I am. Dumbo is one of my like ride or die Disney films, like of all time. Like it's one of the ones that I never get tired of. I don't pride myself on having favorites, but Dumbo is certainly one of them. And I was fine with Burton's version. I liked that it was not just a retelling, but also a sequel as well. I was the only thing that kind of confused me is like his commentary on like the big, corporate machine making these things like, good or bad. And it's like, that's a rather interesting commentary to the people that kind of helped build up your career, but okay. So that, that was interesting. It's not the story I would have told, but yeah, I I had my own version of what I thought Burton's Dumbo was going to be like. I was way off. But it's funny that the question should be, who didn't talk in the movie, because Dumbo did have his own TV series in which he did talk. For those of you watching, if any of you remember Dumbo Circus as fondly as I do, that was a show I didn't get to see very often. But on the days that I could see it, it was something that I would never shut up about it. I love elephants. I love Dumbo. So yeah, I will take any media featuring him that I can take.
Is that even on Disney Plus? Dumbo's?
No, it isn't. No, that is just one of the many gems that Disney Plus has neglected to add. I mean, it's remarkable that we're only just now getting Bear in the Big Blue House come mid-October. So yeah, House of Pooh Corner, Dumbo Circus. I would love for them to add those on there. I don't know what
House of Mouse
is, but yeah, House of Mouse. I've been vying for that since day one. Buzz Lightyear, Star Command.
Buzz Lightyear, Star Command. Yeah.
Yeah, the real Buzz Lightyear origin story. Thank you very much. Yeah, and the Aladdin TV series. I don't know how we haven't gotten there yet, but yeah, I can only watch Hercules and the Arabian Night over and over so many times. Okay, give me the real, like, give me the full series, please.
Hopefully one day Disney will listen to us.
Hopefully. Sure. Oh, Disney listening to us, that'll be something. Anyway.
Anyway, Zora, you got 1,000 points. You're doing amazing. Let's keep going. 2,000. Which animated Warner Animation Group film features a song with the repeated lyric, "This song's gonna get stuck inside your head"? Is it Storks, Scoob, The Lego Movie 2, the second part, or Smallfoot?
The answer is C, The Lego Movie 2, final answer.
And I think your answer is correct. did this song get stuck inside your head?
Oh, you have no idea. Like the minute I got out of that theater, I was searching for it on YouTube, trying to find it on, like that. It's one thing to say like, you've got a catchy song in your movie, but to like, I think
which is the title of the song, catchy song.
I think very few of them actually not only live up to it, but also like can have it stuck in there and not have it be annoying for you. I mean, for me personally, I don't know about anybody else. I can't speak to anybody else, but like I was all too happy to have that stuck inside my head for weeks on end. So that's and plus I love the Lego movies, so I'll never, like, if someone were to put this on like on the radio like just randomly, then I'm not gonna say no, don't do it.
I love this song too, and I like this song more than Everything Is Awesome, actually. But
Yeah.
I feel this song's gotten forgotten though in the past few years. I've compared to Everything Is Awesome. I don't know why. Maybe it's the underperformance of the film. I don't know, but whatever the case is,
Awesome.
if you haven't seen this movie, this song is gonna get stuck inside your head when you do. Okay, Zora, you're doing well. 5,000. Let's go. Where does Christopher Robin go to in the animated 1997 Disney Toon Studios film Pooh's Grand Adventure: The Search for Christopher Robin? Does he go to school? Does he go to the market? Does he go to camp? Or does he go to the farm?
If the answer is A, school, final answer.
You're just whizzing through these because you're a Disney master. Your answer is correct. For those who don't know, Christopher Robin leaves a note for Winnie the Pooh saying he's gone to school, SCHOOL, and of course Owl reads that as skull, which starts off a whole journey of them trying to find a big skull rock. It's a fun movie. I liked it. I love this movie a lot. So like I'm very petty, but like I'm not a fan of the 2011 Winnie the Pooh movie because I feel there were a lot of elements taken from this movie, which is less remembered. But I just really like this movie a lot.
I know that the 2011, the whole concept of like the busy Baxton thing, I believe that was taken from a book. Okay. What I don't remember was whether or not that book was originally by A.A. Milne or if that was from one of the official sequels, or one of the authorized official sequels. But yeah, I agree that conceptually they're very similar, and I love the respective executions for both. Adventure is a Wonderful Thing is another song that gets stuck inside my head. And a friend of mine actually did a fan-dub cover of it not too long ago. Well, a while ago, and I can't stop listening to their version because it's just so like just the song in general is it's just so
fun.
Yeah, it's just so fun and uplifting, and it's another song that I can listen to all day.
I love to see that video if you can send me a link, because
absolutely.
I love seeing covers of that song. There aren't many. I know of like one from like years ago, but that's about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I feel all the songs I feel are great, but like the song Pooh sings, "Come Out Moon, Come Out Wishing Star," I think that's the saddest song in any Disney movie ever. Like I feel even it can even get proud of your boy, a Run for Its Money, I think.
Yeah, it's I know a lot of people I know it's like one of the definitive Winnie the Pooh movies for a lot of people, because especially like when you see a lot of like the motivational stuff that you see on Facebook, especially with that famous quote, it is from The Search for Christopher Robin, so it obviously it's resonated with a lot of people. I can see why. I can definitely see why.
So yeah, this movie is definitely underrated. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. All right, Zora.
Is that one on Disney Plus?
I don't know.
Because if it isn't, it certainly should be. Disney, get on that.
Let me check really quickly. I have a feeling it is. Pooh's Grand. If my phone would load, this would help a lot.
Because I know I've still got my VHS copy, and
me too.
I'm scared. I'm scared to pop it in because like I used to watch that a lot, and I don't want to ruin it.
No, it doesn't seem to be on. So
all this great stuff not on Disney Plus. This is the what's not on Disney Plus episode.
There we go. There's the title of this episode. Thanks.
Yeah.
You solved it for me. All right, Zora, let's keep going. 10,000 points. You have all your lifelines. What term of endearment does Sally call Linus in the animated 2015 Blue Sky Studios film, The Peanuts Movie? My little apple pie? My bingo blanket buddy? My sweet babu? My merry man?
Ooh, okay, so I don't follow Peanuts as much as I used to, and I have seen the Peanuts movie, but it's been a long time.
Take it
I
down. You have
think
lifelines.
I'm gonna have to phone the expert for this one.
Okay, so you're going to use one of your lifelines. We'll go to Skylar, and Skylar answered this. He said, I actually really think this movie's underrated. That's I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 80% sure it's C, My Sweet Babu. So he's heavily leaning towards C.
Because I don't want to waste two lifelines here. Oh wait, is this one of those instances where I can do the second chance thing, or?
Oh no, you only get the double dip after the
After the
30,000.
after that.
So you can trust Skylar, or you could, if you want to use the 50-50, you can.
Yeah, let's go for the 50-50.
So you want to use 50-50 as well? Okay.
Yeah, I hate to say it though, but yeah.
Let's use the 50-50, and we got C is still there, as well as D,
Okay.
Merry Man.
All right, then let's go with C. Final answer.
All right, you weren't 100% sure about this. Skylar was 80% sure it was C. You went with the 50-50 to confirm. Is your answer right? Zora, your answer is...
Oh, here comes the dramatic pause.
You've missed it. Correct.
Okay. Because when you said you missed, I was like, oh, man. I was like, oh, okay. Thank goodness.
You missed the dramatic pause. But congratulations. Yes, thank you, Skylar. You got that one. And good job, Zora. You had to use two lifelines, but hey, it's whatever it takes to get to the top.
See, this is what happens when you only dedicate yourself to one company. You tend to miss out on all the fun stuff from everybody else, which is weird because the Peanuts movie is actually on Disney Plus. It's just, considering I haven't seen it in a while, I also know that despite not being a huge Peanuts guy, when I saw it for the first time, I don't know what it was, but I got very emotional, and it's like, it's one of those movies where I had to be in the right moods to watch. Okay. Yeah, I suppose I'm due for a rewatch of that sometime soon then.
I love this movie a lot. I think it's one of my favorite animated films, probably top 15 maybe. But in terms of Blue Sky Studios, this is definitely, I think, their best one they ever did.
Oh, absolutely.
I was hoping for a sequel, but now with the them being defunct, that's not gonna happen. But
thanks again, Disney. Just had to get greedy and buy all of Fox, didn't you?
At least it's on Disney Plus, along with Anastasia, the other Disney princess.
Great! Yay!
All right, Zora, you're two away from the next benchmark. You have one lifeline left, which is Skylar, but if you get 32,000, you get the other one. 20,000 points. Who is the voice of Professor Callaghan in the animated 2014 Disney canon film Big Hero 6? Is it Robert Duvall, James Brolin, Sam Waterston, or James Cromwell? Well, back to Disney. Is this better for you?
See, okay, for a minute there, I thought you said Alistair Cray, but no, you said Professor Callahan. So let's go D, James Cromwell. Final answer.
All right. How sure are you?
I want to say 50%, because Callahan doesn't show up too often in the TV series, which is probably I'm more familiar with than the base movie itself, funnily enough.
Well, is 50% enough? Zora, your answer is correct.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
Congratulations. Yeah,
because I feel like I would have remembered if like James Brolin or Robert Duvall were attached to the project.
No, it was James Cromwell, but yeah, this is another movie I like it fine. It's not like a favorite of mine, but it's a pretty solid film. I have no big problems with it really. I haven't seen the show yet, nor have I seen the the Baymax show, which people seem to forget there was a Big Hero 6 show before Baymax. But
yeah, I kind of much prefer to watch the show, to be honest, because like conceptually, it's pretty much exactly everything that I could have wanted from it. I mean, you've got the guys who did Kim Possible giving us a Saturday morning cartoon show about Big Hero 6. And it pretty much delivers in like every respect that I could have wanted. The only thing that possibly could have like that I probably could have gotten more out of was if it were CGI. But like the comic book style that they went with it is sort of like an Americanized anime style, which is like really, really cool. So I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with this. This is great.
I'll have to go to watch sometime. I'm pretty sure that's on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, so, that's if it wasn't, if it wasn't, I'd be writing so hard right now.
All right, so you're doing amazing. Next one, 32,000, and if you get that right, then you'll get the double dip. But you still have Skylar, so here we go, 32,000.
All right.
Which of the following animated DreamWorks animation films is based on a book series by Cressida Cowell? Was it Shrek, Rise of the Guardians, The Bad Guys, or How to Train Your Dragon? And just to specify I mean the movie itself does not necessarily have to be of a series, but the book, there is a book series, and the movie itself does not necessarily have to or not be from a series.
Right. And this is where I probably lose. But
well, you have Skylar for the last Skylar.
I know it's not Shrek because that's William Steig. And I know that I'm pretty sure that Rise of the Guardians and How to Train Your Dragon were by the same author. I'm not 100% sure about that. I'm probably wrong about that. So,
you have your last lifeline, or
you knew this would happen, didn't you? You knew. Okay, you bring up a DreamWorks question, then you're gonna stump him. So yeah, let's phone the expert. See what they say.
All right, last Skylar, and this is your last lifeline until you get this right. He said,
"Yeah,
I used to read these books all the time. I'm 100% sure it's D. How to Train Your Dragon."
Okay, because the girl that I'm seeing right now is one of the biggest How to Train Your Dragon fans I've ever seen, if not the biggest. So if I get this wrong, she may never want to see me again.
Yeah, I'm a jeopardized whole relationship right there.
Yeah, so let's hope that he's right about D.
Is that your final answer, Zora?
That's my final answer.
All right, you use your last lifeline. Skylar's 100% sure. He said he read these books as a kid. Was he right? Yours answer is correct.
Thank you, Skylar.
Thank you, Skylar. Okay. Congratulations, Zora. You have 32,000 no matter what.
I was about to say The Bad Guys, so thank you, Skylar.
Yeah, I'm glad you went with him too. And you could tell your girlfriend she'll be very happy you got this one right.
Yep.
So yeah, now you have the double dip, which again, it gives you a chance to answer a question, to take 2 chances to answer the question. So you can guess A, and if that's wrong, you still can guess something else. You can guess B. If it's wrong again, then you lose. But
right,
at least you get 2 chances.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon is I think one of my favorite series, animated film series. I do love the overall. I think the first one's still my favorite, but I love the art style. I love the story. I love the imagination. I love Hiccup and Astrid. I ship them very hard. And yeah, I just big fan of them. I haven't seen any of the TV shows though, or TV specials or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen the movies. I haven't gotten around to the TV shows. There's something about, well, I mean, you know me, I can't stand DreamWorks in the first place, but like there's something about their TV production quality, especially, that I find really weird. Like, why?
It's definitely TV quality.
it looks half rendered, and I cannot. No, it's like okay, that's good enough. Okay, on to the next frame. It's like, oh, don't do this. So
you don't have the budget for this.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it looks cheap, because like it's probably their best looking TV series that they've got out there. But even so, like the rendering just looks, it looks so weird, because the models look, on model,
Mhm.
but then everything else looks like it's like a video game cutscene, and that's probably an insult to video game cutscene. So I can't. No, can't do it. I can't do it. It feels too weird. You know how some people are like turned off by claymation?
Okay, yeah.
I'm turned off by DreamWorks Animation. Well, I'm turned off by DreamWorks Animation in general, but especially their TV style. I just can't do it.
I,
Half
to-
rendering, half textures. No, get it away from me, please.
I totally agree with you. It does look very half rendered, and maybe that's the reason I haven't watched it. Maybe that's a subconscious reason or something. But yeah,
Yeah,
stick to the movies, people.
yeah.
They're a lot better in terms of look animation quality, at least. All right, Zora, you're 5 away from the million. I want to get you all the way to the top, and you have one lifeline though. But hopefully that's enough. That's all you need.
Oh, boy.
64,000 points. What is the setting for the musical performed by the characters in the animated 2021 Illumination entertainment film Sing 2? Is it prison? Is it underwater? Is it in a haunted house? Or is it in outer space? And again, just to clarify what I mean is the characters are putting on a musical, and what is the setting of the musical that they're putting on? I don't mean where are they putting on the musical itself.
Okay, so I haven't seen this film yet. I've been meaning to, because the first one surprised me with how good it was.
It was definitely better than anyone was thinking. I thought it was going to be. I'd say that.
Yeah, because Illumination's very hit or miss for me. Same with Blue Sky, but Sing, like I thought, it's like, oh, okay, this, it's just gonna be another cute singing animal. Like, no, it actually got pretty deep. But if what I remember from the trailers is right, I believe the musical is set in outer space. Final answer?
I was going to see if you wanted to use your lifeline, but you said final answer, so we got to go with that. How sure are you?
50% sure.
Hey, that worked out last time. Is it outer space, Zora? Your answer is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second one is not as good as the first movie, but I still recommend seeing it for it. I'm not getting into spoilers, but there's just a very weird regarding the villain. There's a very weird plot point, and
so there's an actual villain this time.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert for that, but
okay.
But yes, so yeah, there's actual villain. It's when you see it, I'll tell you, but there's something just weird about the whole thing. But yeah, the musical takes place in outer space, or it's like outer space musical, and it's pretty. At least you'll stay for the songs. I'll say that.
Sure. Because I gotta say the Taron Egerton's rendition of "I'm Still Standing" in the first one is incredible, and the fact that not only does he go on to go inside of star in a movie next to Elton John, but then he gets to play Elton John, sing that song again, and it's and it's so interesting to see that he can do it like the different ways that he sings that song, the ways that he performs it. It's incredible, and I think though I haven't seen him in much, I think Taron Egerton's probably one of the people that we should be looking out for, because that's impressive. That by itself is really quite something.
I never even realized it until you mentioned it. Yeah, he did play Elton John afterwards.
Yeah, sings an Elton John song in a movie, then saves Elton John in Kingsman, and then plays Elton John. Like,
wow, he's literally the Elton John kid.
Yeah, that's that's pretty darn cool to me anyway.
I agree. All right, Zora, you're 4 away from the million. You have the double dip. Let's keep going. 125,000 points. Which entertainer appears in the animated 1947 Disney canon film Fun and Fancy Free? Was it Al Jolson, Errol Flynn, Edgar Bergen, or Harold Lloyd?
The answer is C, Edgar Bergen. Final answer.
I feel you were happy when you see another Disney question show up. Your answer is correct. What do you think of Fun and Fancy Free?
I like the package films. They're not
Yeah,
my favorite, but that I think Fun and Fancy Free is probably my favorite of the bunch purely because of the Mickey and the Beanstalk segment.
okay, yeah.
And I know that there have been retellings of it with Von Drake as the narrator. And don't get me wrong, I love Paul Frees, I love Von Drake, but there's something about Edgar Bergen arguing with himself during the entire thing is just hilarious. And when I was a kid, for some reason, when Goofy slips under the door and Charlie's got the cut with his pants, Charlie, cut with his pants, Charlie. Well, the slip was showing. I kept on rewinding that over and over, and I don't know why. Just because I love the again Edgar Bergen's um charm, and just the way that he's able to go back and forth is just amazing. I think one of my favorite things that Edgar Bergen has done, aside from this, was the 1 Hour in Wonderland special, and seeing Charlie and Mortimer just completely go off in the old Disney studios is it's just a riot. And so, especially since I don't get to see them in color very often, this is
Yeah.
also very much a treat. And yeah, the way the whole Mickey and the Beanstalk story is framed is just wonderful.
Yeah, and I'm a big Edgar Bergen fan as well, and I think the first time I saw him, like he inspired me, like, oh, I want to become a ventriloquist. I
Mhm.
never followed the dream, but it put the kernel of the dream in my heart, at least.
Yeah.
In terms of this film, I haven't seen it in a long time, but it of the package films, it wasn't my favorite, but I do prefer the Mickey and the Beanstalk segment way more than Bongo.
Which is odd because I love bears, and
Yeah,
I
okay.
think I was very much into the bongo segment when I was younger.
Mhm.
Um, like, and I don't know why, like the bongo segment still holds a very special place in my heart.
Mhm.
But like, especially knowing, all the being the Disney history nut that I got, like being able to see these people, um, it's I don't know. I think there's something that I treasured about bongo as when I was a kid, and now that I'm a little bit older and I can appreciate it, like, hey, I know you, and I know you, and I know you.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy both segments of this film.
Yeah.
All right, Zora. 3 away from the million. This is exciting. And you still have the double dip. Let's keep going. 250,000 points. The animated 2021 film, Ron's Gone Wrong, is the first animated film from which studio? Is it Skydance Animation, Studio Ponok, Locksmith Animation, or Cloverworks?
Uh, I admittedly haven't seen this either. Wasn't this a Blue Sky picture?
No.
No, it wasn't.
Nope.
Oh. Ooh. Okay. I think I'll have to use my double dip for this.
Okay, so you use the last laugh and double dip. So you'll guess an answer, and I'll tell you if it's right or wrong. And if it's wrong, you get to guess again. If it's still wrong, then that's the end of the game.
I want to. Okay, so let's go with C, locksmith.
Final answer
For this dip,
for
yeah.
this, yeah. Okay, how sure are you?
Not very.
Well, Ron's gone wrong. Was it a Locksmith animation film? Your answer is correct.
Oh.
You didn't have to use the double dip, but hey, you got it right. Locksmith animation. I love this movie. I have not loved an animated film that was the debut of an animation studio so much since like when the Lego movie came out. This was a British animation studio, and I think Fox had the rights to distribute it, so that's how come it's on Disney Plus right now. But I adore this movie so much. It probably made my top 15 or 20 animated films of all time. And I think one reason I like it a lot is like I like Mitchell's and the Machines. Don't get me Mitchell's versus the Machines. Don't get me wrong. I do think that's a very good movie. But this film has a very similar theme and a very similar story to Mitchell's versus Machines. And I think because Mitchell's versus Machines was more popular, this film kind of got pushed to the side and fewer people saw it. So I think that's another reason I like this a lot, because it's more like the underdog, I feel. But I definitely, if you don't watch any other movie that we mentioned on this show today, give Ron's Gone Wrong a watch.
It's not that I don't like exclusively watch Disney stuff, because like that was something that my partner was sort of like confused about. It was like, do you own? I was like, no. I watch stuff from other companies too. Like so. I've seen all the How to Train Your Dragon movies. I've seen I saw the Peanuts movie like in theaters. But Ron's Gone. I don't know. There was something about it that didn't quite appeal to me. But if it's ranking that high on your list, then I might just have to give this a watch after all.
I will agree that the trailers and stuff don't make it look that good, but it's a lot better than you think it is. Or that's what I thought, and a lot of my friends thought the same. But so that's just my opinion. So I'd love to know what you think after that.
Yeah.
All right, Zora, you use your last lifeline, but you're 2 away from the million. Have you ever got to the 500,000 points before?
Ooh, I'm not sure. I think there was
either.
one season where I got really close and then I blew it because I had previously blown all my other lifelines. There seems to be a pattern. But no, okay.
We'll see how this goes. 500,000 points, Zora, and no lifelines, but let's see what the question is.
Oh boy.
Which of the following celebrities has never appeared as his or herself in an episode of the animated television series Arthur from 1996 to 2022? Was it figure skater Michelle Kwan, architect Frank Gehry, civil rights activist John Lewis, or author Stephen King, which has never appeared? How are you on Arthur?
I maybe watched like the first few seasons when it first came out when I was a kid, but I fell off that train very quickly once I realized, oh, there are other channels other than PBS.
That was my problem. We didn't have cable, so I just watched PBS all day.
Oh boy.
So again, let me remind you, since there's no round 2, it doesn't make sense to walk away, so it's best to guess something.
Yeah, and I've used all my
all your lifelines, correct.
Oh man. Well, okay. So I feel like Stephen King is the obvious answer. But I also feel like people have talked about like the most unlikely celebrities that have appeared in kids shows, and I feel like Stephen King and Arthur would somehow make sense. Oh man, and I also feel like Michelle Kwan would also make sense. Okay, so this is a part of the show
where Zora brings out his lucky coin.
So heads, we go with Frank Gehry. Tails, we go with civil rights activist John Lewis. And I'm very sorry to say that I do not know any of those people except for Stephen King. Okay, so B, architect Frank Gehry.
Final answer?
I know I'm going to lose this anyway, but yeah, final answer.
All right, 500,000 points. No lifelines, or you get this right, you get to see the million-point question, which is something that doesn't happen a lot. You get this wrong, you leave with 32,000 points. Zora, your answer is wrong.
Yeah,
I am so sorry. You leave with 32,000. It was Stephen King, actually. Stephen King never appeared on this. R.L. Stein actually appeared on the show, but not Stephen King.
Stein.
Yeah, I think that's who you were thinking of, maybe.
I knew it was a horror writer, but I wasn't sure. Okay.
The other 3 did appear. Arthur's treehouse got broken, and Frank Gehry came in and helped them build it back. That's what he did.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Zora, I'm so sorry, but you played amazingly. You got to the 500,000. Like I said, I don't think you ever made it that far before.
No, so. I feel like I probably have, like last time, I wasted all my lifelines in a very obvious question. And yeah, that's always my downfall, isn't it? But hey, like that's I'm actually kind of surprised that I made it that far as well. So not too bad. There's good questions this time around. This is, oh man.
Are you saying sometimes I have bad questions?
No. I'm just saying, like, most of the time I go in there, I'm like, they're like, oh, what if I don't know this? But like, no, this was a pretty well-rounded selection, because I remember there was one time where I think there was mostly Disney questions. I'm like, come on, this is unfair now. And then the minute you got to like a Studio Ghibli question, I'm like, I should know this, but I don't. So rats.
And also, I randomize all the categories, so that just happens that way. That you had a lot of Disney that time.
I still don't know how you're able to do that on PowerPoint, but you know, hey, kudos to you for making it work.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it took a while to master, but I think I've got it. Zora, I'm very happy with and proud of you how far you've gone, and you leave with 32,000. It's not enough to be a second winner, but I do appreciate you coming on the show this season. And before we go, is there anything else you want to say? How can people find you?
Yeah, I mean, thanks so much again for having me. Congratulations on 8 seasons. This has been a lot of fun. I'm always to come back here, and like, even if I'm not playing to win, you know, it's always fun to see. You know, like it's a good refresher, isn't it? Just because it's a good way to keep my mind sharp. You know, the only way to prove that I'm as good as I say I am is to come on here. So you know, it's always a fun time. So and it's always good to compare notes and opinions on what we think about on the subject matter. So yeah, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what I enjoyed too. I wanted to be fun for the contestants, and I like it gives me an excuse to talk to people that I would love to talk to about animation and stuff that we like together. But yeah, do you want to plug in your YouTube channel or anything?
Well, currently, as of right now, my YouTube channel is undergoing a bit of a renovation. Some of my longtime subscribers may have noticed that we are trying to really make this into a categorized variety channel. It's just a matter of being able to make sure that I can edit everything accordingly without getting not caught per se, but getting, you know, YouTube's new algorithms and content ID identification, like trying to it's weird trying to, you know, go viral while also fly under the radar so that you don't get in trouble when it comes to copyright. But yeah, that's
right there.
yeah, that's currently where we're at now. I should probably tell my community about that. But yeah, I do tend to post every now and then. There's a new video every someday, so hopefully someday will come soon.
And someday will indeed come soon. And for everyone else watching, we have 2 more contestants to end off this season with. Will one of them become another millionaire along with Stanford? Who knows? Watch and find out. Until then, take care. Bye.